Hey everybody, welcome in. We are going to make sure doors are closed. I've got some fresh lemonade. Maybe we'll put on some music, and it should be a good stream. We're going to be building our Sesh terminal UI. Give me a hello in chat if you're there hanging out. I always like to see and make sure my channels are even today. I should be coming out of both ears if you got headphones on. Been playing around with OBS a little bit, which has been fun. All right. I've also been messing around with Fang. Those that might not know, the Charm team, they released a new package. It's like a starter kit for the CLI. And got to iron out a few bugs, but it's working, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited for that. And I might even contribute to it. My project currently supports ANSI colors, which is something I wanted. But we're not going to focus on that too much today. Let's get this bigger. How's our split? All right, pretty good. So let's kill tmux. I've got these little snakes in the background, but maybe we will keep it simple. Let's see, I want live chat. I see. Let's move this guy around. All right. Cool. I can probably bring this up a little bit. Okay, sweet. So let's get back to our TUI. Oh, that was misspelled, wasn't it? So where we started last week was we can build this project and we can see a list. And this is just the built-in list from the Charm people using lip gloss, I believe. And now I can do like, I want to do fast fetch, right? And I can have the item there, but I can't actually do anything with it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to attach some actions. And I'm excited to see where this goes. What's going on? Hey, we got people hanging out. Glad you're here. So what we're going to do is, I think I'm going to start by just passing the connector through the model. So if we go into the TUI, Sesh TUI, this guy, we're going to pass in new model. And to my knowledge, I need the model to be the thing that holds the data. Because if I remember right, we have our program, our TUI. It lists based off of the session, right? Lister, yeah. So this is our dependency. Did we end up injecting Lister? So we injected Lister. So now we want connector, right? Yeah. So connect connector, right? So this will be the next guy. And what we'll do is that when you make an assignment, like when you hit enter for now, it's going to execute on the item that's in focus. So it should be fairly simple to implement. All right, so that is the first step. And then main.go, we have to, is it main.go or is it the session? All right, so this guy now needs connector, right? So there's our dependency. And then I've looked at a few examples of how this works. So we've got our list. Let's see if this one has something more interesting. No, that's not what we want. All right, so now we can let's try open code today. And let's just see if I can, how to map my lip gloss. All right, we're going to see how much this completely crushes my computer. I'm curious to find that out. But what we should do layout. Is it lip gloss that makes the list, or was it a different tool? This list comes from here, and then we pass it into, where did we pass this in? We make it, and then we generate it, and then the model. What is it actually doing? We set size, we update the list, and we render the list by the view. Okay, so it's just a built-in tool. Now we're cooking. Okay, we're using a local AI to see what happens here. So let's see. All right, I think we're gonna avoid that for now. Let's start with the basics. Here's my rendered list. All right, so we want bubble T. We want to set up key bindings So I've seen this key press. Are we going to start here? If we do this, and then HJKL is going to automatically choose the selected element. So something like this is what I'm expecting. So instead of selected, we have our model on update. Selected item. Is going to return an item. It could be as easy as this, assuming model has, why doesn't TUI have, oh, do we have to assign it? We do. So just because we added it to the dependency list doesn't mean it's going to be there yet. And then the real one has a connector. Yeah. And then this, we need to pass the connector. So real TUI takes in connector, then lister. Connector and lister just to be alphabetized. And then did this still enter? Oh, I see. If we're going to do like enter. Not enough arguments called. Or connecting the name with options. Can this be empty for now? I just want options. Can it just be empty? All right, now let's see what happens. We should be able to make build and Sesh UI. And when I hit enter on one of these, something happens. Well, that's good. Invalid memory address. Hilarious. Okay, so we pointed to something bad. Maybe this can't be empty. Is this actually called anywhere? Yeah, we call it there. These are all mocks. And arguments. I could do like this again. So switch true. Command is command. I don't think this is required. So our null pointer is going where? We should probably follow this stack trace. Main go 24, main go 24, okay. And then let's bubble up. Your fav. Your fav, what is this? Why are we even seeing your fav? All right, let's see. So it panics. The models update. I guess the main thing we could do is in the CLI logic, we could just say when I do the thing, this should happen, right? What is this? All right. We want to return we want to quit. Well, of course that'll work. All right. So instead of, oh, do I always have to return the model? Basically, I want to do something like this and then immediately have the tool exit. So my invalid memory address or null pointer is to bubble T Sesh TUI model update. So my model update is failing at one of these lines. Wow, this is like not very useful. All right. Let's just make sure we've got that. All right. I've also been using Claude, which I'm finding is fairly useful. So we want the TUI. Hey, Pone. It's going, man. We're just trying to figure out how this works. I am liking Cloud Code, though. It has been probably the better option lately. So we're listing the selected item. Maybe this doesn't exist. Oh. Let's do that. All right, so nothing fails there. I'm not really sure how to draw a pop-up or debug code while it's running. That's the part about lip gloss. I'd love to get Carlos or someone from the Charm team to have a conversation with. I probably could even talk to some of my other friends who have used these libraries before. I'm just sort of new to this, so I don't really have a strategy for render the row. So you can print something. But what I want to do is I want to execute this function. So is my connector connect command just not doing it? Because you pass the name of the thing you want to connect. So the name is selected. So the item has these things. The title is a string. If name equals that, then we're gonna, what are we gonna do? Slog an error. Otherwise, we're gonna connect to it, right? Now, why does it force me to pass this? Where's the best place to rip this from? I think I can just create it. Even if nothing happens and it quits, then it quits, right? It's not a big deal. Yeah, Bone, this is all NeoVim. Very, very minimal NeoVim. Oh, and I'm going to have to re-import this. And it crashes. All right, well, let's see. So the connector... Same error. All right, so then what is it? How does this work? Let's figure it out. So let's say I want to like chat. Sure. So the idea with chatting is you're going to say something, you're going to type, right? Yep. And so this needs to be updated as you type. And then key message, when you hit enter, it should append to that. Viewport set content, text area reset, viewport go to bottom. So these are actions from the model called viewport. So that's viewport model. And is viewport just, yeah, viewport's just a tool from them. But these are actions that we take. So the model has these items. And then when we initialize, do I need to initialize it properly like we did in the past? I thought that was what Sesh CLI did. So I'm initializing it, passing it to TUI. So TUI has an argument, and this model is generated. All right, let's see. So TUI. Where does TUI get passed? Oh, dot new model. Yeah. So in new model, do I have to assign like im dot, that's the part that throws me off. So lister's here, t dot lister. Do I have to do like im dot connector equals t connector? Does that make sense? It's like an uninitialized thing and you have to assign it to the model. Because new model just generates it. T is a dependency. So maybe that's what I was missing. Am I getting better output? The same output? Invalid memory address. So does the connector even exist? So this is the assignment of TUI. Yes, we want to do that. So this is where the model gets generated. Connector. So they're doing it there and there. Oh, that's good. That's good. All right. So here we go. We got our pair programmer working in the background next to us. And it didn't fail. Actually, it might have even worked. Let's go to wallpaper. Hey, that is a win. So I'm just going to rinse and repeat this for all of the different kinds of items that we might see. And I want to create a filter so that you can hit a key and you can like see your tmux sessions, or you can see whatever. We also didn't show icons yet. And we get to do all of this much more programmatically now instead of doing string parsing and manipulation and then translating that backwards and forwards. And it was a lot, is what I'll say. It was a lot. And so now, instead of having to do all that, we will be able to design it a lot more human readable. So the other question that I have is, can the previewer be on the side and can it be responsive? So I probably need to start coming up with Sesh TUI. So we've got our Sesh TUI, and what do we want to do? What do we have working? We can list sessions. We can connect to session. Now let's see how useful this is. So like in the config, we have tmux config. And there you go, tmux config. Now, the way for this to be the most helpful is we go back to this and we get rid of that. And we do something really simple. So we run shell. I want like a pop-up, display pop-up. So this -k, display pop-up, and we're going to call it Sesh UI. Boom, there it is. So now I want to, I don't know, I want to draw this better. I forget how this works. Just height. All right, what is it? H is height. All right, so let's just do it. And position, nice. Height, 80. Width, let's go like 50. Height too large. Can I do percent here? There we go. Nice. All right, that's pretty good. And then, I don't know, we'll do 70. Yeah, I think that was good. It feels snappy enough. We're probably going to adjust the UI or change the UI in the future, so I'm not so set on it needing to be a certain way. What's up, Andres? We have a working pop-up, man. This totally works. So now if I want to go to, you know, second brain, it goes to second brain. And if I want to go to, and I have it bound to my pop-up config, let's see, fish. Yeah, it totally works. I love it. So we want preview. We want preview, show icons. We want to make path cleaner. We want to improve path. We want to add the home thing to it. Yeah, so that should be fine. Noise. No, noise. I kind of want to like show Zoxide scores. I want to filter. What do I want to do? I want to filter by content. type. Right. So I like it. So at any point, if I'm not typing right, so we need to go back to this. If we're not, I guess I should probably just pass this all in. All right. So selected item, I'm not worried about. Option ended up not mattering. But it's required. And then slog if there's nothing selected. Yeah, let's just see what happens there. And then what? Is there something else I'm missing? Riza, very cool. I'm so glad Sesh is working out for you. It's going to get way better with this TUI. So I'm glad you're here seeing what's up. I'm glad the tool is helpful for you. Yeah, I have a good time making it. And we're just chilling out today. It's a chill day. Oh, by the way, thank you for the shout out. I really appreciate your kind words. You get a prize. Check this out. I can go thermodynamic. Oh shit. I look like an alien. What else have I got? I've got a few ways I can do it. You guys know the ASCII work, but I've been playing around. I've been playing around with some cool styles. But I thought that one was really fun. There's another one that I haven't put. Watch this. I'm going to distract myself real quick. What is it called? Emboss at GB. That's what it's called. I actually really like this one. So this one is another fun one. So we'll see. I'm sure streams will get more exciting. I'll go thermal and I'll RGB split. Is this too much? That's probably too much. So we'll work here in the dark for a few minutes. We'll see if it grabs anyone's attention. All right, so I just want to make sure this commit is fairly clean. So we're passing the connector as a new dependency. And this is just going to keep going. All of the things that I need will end up here. Cool. So let's do that. Allow selected item on list to be connected to. All right, cool. So we're going to push that up, make sure it stays up to date. All right. Don't mind me. I'm just force pushing. It's a little distracting, huh? We can force push it on our own branches, right? I do a lot of rebasing, and I amend commits like I just did there, and I'll even change the order of commits if it works in my favor to be more realistic with what is being put into the system. All right, so then that was icons, previews, filter by content. I feel like icons would make this look the nicest. And I don't need the icon. So we want to do substitution on the list. I probably should just check the model list. Oh, this is not what I wanted. I want model Sesh session. So this is what I'm thinking we do. The path is being substituted at a different point. Where do I actually do that? Is it in the list? Lister? What is this? Is my list doing it, or am I doing the substitution here? So I know that when we do this here, we append the icon. So we don't have to do this anymore. We could probably substitute this. And I might make it configurable. I guess some people don't like icons, but who doesn't like icons, right? Dude, Kenji, I see your comment too. Awesome. I'm so glad you guys like Sesh. So let me make a teaser on what I think is going to happen next with this project. So Sesh is really good at finding the session and doing what it needs to do with it, right? However, I am a really big fan of this tool called Raycast. You might have heard of it. It's a launcher for macOS, and it can do a lot of things, right? It can look at reminders and passwords and caffeinate and pick colors and look at my calendar and all of this. So the plan as I build this TUI out, because it wasn't really practical in the way that it was being done with FCF, is I want to be able to add like tmux commands to this list. So you could switch to a session, or you could split your windows right to left, or you could switch your layout, or you could detach, or you could do anything you want in tmux as a command, and it would just be a new record in this list, and it would know, hey, the list, I picked this item on the list and it's this type of action, and it can take that kind of action. There may be even opportunities to integrate AI into this. I don't know if everybody is an AI kind of person, but I've been using it a lot more. So I may say, from this Sesh pop-up, okay, hey, I want to go do this thing, right? And I may want to take a unique kind of natural language action that isn't necessarily in the list. So that's more of the future, but I think more immediately, I'll be able to take pretty much everything that's here. We have all these commands. Where are they? Did I skip them? We have all these commands. They're listed here somewhere. Yeah. List commands. Yeah. List clients. No, these aren't them. Show messages, start server, switch client. Command copy mode would be really useful, but these aren't actually what I'm just trying to look for. Yeah, so like kill window, kill pane, list windows, new window, next window, previous layout, resize, all of this kind of stuff I think would be really great to just include in a sort of Raycast style picker in the terminal. And if we can go in that direction, then we can create a plugin system and let people add their own actions to this system. And then like it takes over the world, right? Anyone who uses a terminal should, want to be downloading this. This should be the first thing they download, because it's already proven incredibly useful as a session switcher. Like it's like I don't want to not have it on any computer, right? It's a default thing. It's changed my workflow entirely, and so I'm hoping to just increase that and make it even more helpful And so this is our step toward that. So let's keep doing it. Just needed a quick little speaking break there. So the main thing I think that would be the most useful is that we could create a directory that is a lot more clean. So in this case, we're dumping the name with an icon attached to it, and then we're taking this is add icon. And then we're taking the directory. In these cases, we're taking this directory. And is it already interpreted? That's the part that threw me off. I don't remember. It's not icon. Is the substitution have already happened at this stage? Because I expected these items to have the home directory replaced. I just have to go find that. It's not in the list. So we do this. And sessions comes from where? Sessions comes from list. So we hide our duplicates. We get our index. So where's the path substitution happening? Or it's not that, right? We don't show the path there. If we scroll down past our configs, we're going to see the names themselves are the thing that are getting substituted. All right. So we will begin to shift this in quite a significant way. And I may even ultimately deprecate or reduce or simplify the FCF bindings and stuff and just say, hey, you can do that if you want, but I'm going to make some trade-offs and I'm going to drop some of the logic. But for now, I don't need to overthink it. I think for now, what I need to do is we have paths. Instead of having directory, I could have a similar named thing. I think that's all I'm going to do for now. So in our list, instead of the absolute path, I want like a friendly path. So we'll say I think pretty path should be fine. Icon also should be fine. Let's just start there. So in my like tmux lister, we are binding all of this, and then we have a brand new tool. I don't know if I'm gonna have to do more dependency injection with this one. But basically, we recently added new replacements. And the way that this works, this path substitution, is using a new library, which is great. We love a new library. We do need replacer, replace, And then what did he do? He has these defaults to replace. So that's the way that we're going to do it. So he does need to pass it on the startup. So lister needs replacer now. And then replacements get generated as a replacer. Do I want to do all this? I think I do. And then in the startup, replacer, session path. Oh yeah, he does this substitution. Oh, I don't think I'll go this far yet, because in our lister, our Zoxide lister, we'll probably just do that. So in here, when we create the name, the resulted path comes from here. Do I do the directory substitution here? Let's see. Result. No, we just take the result, don't we? Query downloads. No, it's a full path. All right, so if it's a full path here, and then we pass it here, we find the sessions, the name and the path are the same, and then that's the lister. So is it in the main lister list? Is it this one where I home? Expand home, right. Where do I do this? Let's see. Let's go to lister. Oh, I need to zad this guy. So in my lister, we shorten home in the list command. There it is. So this gives me a name, and the named result generates a key, and then we pass the name. So this is all in the lister section. So we would say pretty path is the name. Sure. With Zoxide results, I care less about that, but I think I want to show the pretty path all the time. We'll play around with it. All right, so that's to be determined. So that's just on list Zoxide. Now on tmux, we want to do the same thing. So on tmux, we have all of this, and we say that the pretty path is the... Oh, I do need to do this, don't I? All right. Pretty path. We're going to shorten the home with the session.path. All right, fine. And then we're going to do pretty path is pretty path. So that should do it for now. Let's actually go back to here. And if we do like downloads, oh, we got to render pretty path, don't we? Let's go ahead and do that. So in our TUI, in our list, we generate the list based off of all of this stuff. And this is what I love about it. When I go to when I go to generate my list, this just becomes pretty path. And I guess if it doesn't exist, I could use regular path, but let's just go with some blanks for now. Yeah, so config won't be done. And these are going to look the same. So part of me thinks that depending on the type, we're going to render a different element. So we're going to make the paths pretty in UI, and then we're going to render different list item based on type. Right? So my thought is that we start thinking about the design of this. Let's just go ahead and do our lister config. We're going to expand home on the path. So that becomes an expanded home. All right. In some cases, I already have the lister tmux. Yeah, so in this case, I already have shortened the home just by calling it in the way that I ask for it. So let's see, we want to take the path. That's the full path. We don't need to reinterpret that. So they've passed what? They passed session path. We're going to make sure it's pretty path. Couldn't shorten path. And then pretty path. And that's it. It should just work. So now our configs should be nicer. Yep. So like tmux, let's just do configs. So here's all my configs. Cool. And it works. What I also figured out is I need to do the allow root to be passed to. How does this work? Allow pass to filter input. And then how do I like auto select filter input, right? So if it can be auto selected, my assumption right now is that we don't need to call something with Unix commands and make it like bubble up into the interface. I think I can just say, what is the current tmux command? Oh, this is the current, or the current session. Here's the current session, and then it does it. It just goes, okay, great. I know the current session. I can pull that information and I can pass it in to the input. So it's that kind of stuff that makes it a lot easier than it used to be. I don't know if you remember how this command works. And in fact, if you guys are still new to using Sesh, there's this really great one that I use. Oh, these are duplicates. Why is it showing up twice? Oh, I need to hide duplicates, right? So I need to be able to all right, so we're gonna do something like that. So what I wanted to show you is if you can pass sesh connect, and then on the case of the input, right, when you start an input, this query can be assigned, and you can say, hey, call sesh root. What is sesh root? So sesh root will always return the root of your project. So in this case, .files is the root of this project. It's a Git repository. So now when I hit that, it's going to pre-fill in c.files. And so now I can create additional sessions on top of the session that I have open. So if I have dot files open, let's say that I want to go to Sesh, right? Great. Now these are just the Sesh files, and they live in their own tmux session. And I can quickly go, oh yeah, I don't really need that anymore. And if I close it, I'm back at the session I just was at. And that's also due to the sesh last command. Helps me with that. So anyway, check that out, sesh root. It's really helpful. I have a video. Do I have a video explaining it? I don't think so, but it's in the docs and it's not too tricky to set up. But that can definitely improve your workflow. If you're not using multiple sessions inside of sessions, you have this opportunity to contextualize and kind of hyper-focus on an area of your application. In my case, I use a monorepo a lot, so I like to switch between app and server and package and UI, and there's all the different places where I can interact. So this seems to be a decent start. Part of me kind of wants the Zoxide result to be the full path, just because. So Zoxide lister, instead of using the name, I could use the path. I think that's kind of a fun idea. Let's open the right one up. And this would probably be a good time now to switch between types. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. I could even put the score here if I wanted. And it's almost not, I almost want to say pretty path is misleading. So if we were to look back at the way list works in the TUI, I think I'm just going to maybe make a decision here early on that it has everything to do with the UI, right? And the UI that I want to TUI that I want to output. So in this case, item has a title, description, filter value, and these are assigned how again? I forget exactly how this gets set up. If anyone in chat knows, let me know. But this list in particular, we're using from the lip gloss people, the bubble tea people. It's a bubbles list. So I could just go to why is this not reading as a URL? All right. Oh, because it's not. Bubbles? Bubbles. So this list bubble default item describes this item, right? So in this project, they're explicitly doing it. Yes, but then you're not actually calling it. Status, title, description. Cool. So this one is simpler. They're setting this list.item. Where does list come from? List comes from bubbles list. So do you need title, description, or are these controllable to what you want to do? I get that you can change the style, and I'll probably do ANSI. I'm an ANSI guy. Let me use the terminal's colors. I don't want to overwrite them with something else. So we got to do that. So we want to style the list. Right. Cool. So that's pretty straightforward. I'm guessing I need to look at the code. So you have an item with a filter value, height and spacing. It renders the item based off of what? Title. So that is how it works. Okay. Oh, this is the list itself, right? So you have list and then you have item. So item is this value we were looking at earlier. And then how does it actually render the item? Items as. Nice. And it, look at this, how it like hoists itself to bubble T. Yeah, look at that. It decides everything that it needs to do, and then it bubbles up to the system. That's the part that I'm a little bit thrown off by. I probably need to get much better at this so that there is a list UI, like a searchable list in the TUI, and the actions and the model, maybe not the model. Well, to some extent, we're going to have to isolate this stuff, right? So I'll probably run into that when I run into that. It might be a little bit too soon to think about that stuff right now. So what was it? Description? That's the part that throws me off. How is item decided to run title and description? When do those things get determined? Is it list? It's probably just list. So like list view, I just need to read the code. Description. Riza, I hear you. This thing, this is telescope. And I'm using like a smart picker, so it shows the file name first. And it always sorts them by what I've opened up the most recently. So like TUI, of course, this is the one we've been looking at the most. And then the lister stuff, right? Main.go, so it's just sorted by my most recent. And neovim config. I have a lot going on in here, but it's this smart open. So it uses a little SQL database to track. And then you gotta hoist it all together. And then I have, you know, borders, and the layout is nice and big. It fills up most of the screen. Smart path gives me that blue with the words after it. Yeah, so this is really helpful. I even have icons. You see the little icons are picked, and the little finger, look at the fingers pointing one way for this, and then it's pointing up here when I need to push a commit up. And so it's all here, man. So just go to github.com/joshmedeski .files/conf. You might as well just click in, but it'll be config neovim. All right, in Vim. I don't think the README stuff is all up to date, but you're welcome to go in. Yeah, look, it's still Kickstart. So I'll probably auto-generate something again at some point. It's out of date, but I used to have a... I had a website that was all .file related, but it ultimately proved to be a lot of work to keep up and to maintain. And I don't even know how many people were like actively using it. And it still exists. Oh my gosh. Here it is. .files, quick start. And then you could like run all this, but it's all out of date. So don't take this as, but overview, like Mac OS, here were the things that I used, and I ended up being able to auto-generate all of the homebrew packages I had. And then, where do I need to go? Is this it? Binaries, packages, yeah. So this is out of date. I don't recommend anyone go to this anymore. Even Macup I switched away from, but it was fun to build. Look, there I am. All right, back on task. So I don't think it really matters what you call it. I think all that matters for now is that we line up with what we're expecting to see here. And what are we expecting to see? We're expecting to see, let's close this, go back to our list. Title, description, filter value. So the filter value can be different than the title, which means I'll be putting the icon on the title. Yes, we will definitely be putting the icon on the title. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to work this out so that I can just make it look pretty. And then the description is the pretty path thing, is what I wanted to rename to description. So let's just do that. Let's just do a quick pretty path and let's call it description. Description, 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 description. Great. So that's Grugfar. Grugfar, yeah. Highly recommend this one. Find and replace plugin for NeoVim. It's like so good. It's like really, really powerful. If you guys aren't using this, I highly recommend it. You can do like file fuzzy matching and you can pass in flags. I think this is, what is this? Is this RG under the hood? If I remember right. Yeah, ripgrep. So yeah, it's just really, really good at what it does. So that's description. Let's go back. Great. So now, instead of what I had, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Zoxide lister, and the description is going to be the full path plus the score. So I'm just not very good at this yet. How do we do? Andres is like running laps around me with his Go language. So I want to just add, do I do a string format to add two things together? Sprint F, right? And then you do a little substitution. Yeah. Cool. There you go. Look at that. The score. You're not as, I'm giving you all the praises, aren't I? Well, you've been doing it for longer than me, so that's got to count for something, right? I wonder if I can set up that filtering now. All right, so let's get rid of this. And let's just pretty path. Okay, so I do need anywhere that it's pretty path. I need it to be description, right? Description, 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 description. All right. Yes, please. This should be it, right? All right, so let's make What is this? This is the model. This is the item and description. Oh, we gotta format that, don't we? So I've been doing something recently. It might prove useful to some of you. Sometimes I have too many files open. Maybe we set this up now because I think it would prove useful to others. I have NeoVim open and I have too many files open, so I want to reopen NeoVim, and then I have to decide what from this list is worth going through, right? And so what I'll do typically is we do get unstaged, open all files in NeoVim that are unchanged and unstaged using xargs. I need to just save this name only xargs, yeah. I think this is enough. It's a pretty simple thing, yeah. And so now, all the files that are open, right? These are, if I just hit tab, I can switch between open files. I can see everything that's open. So what I wanted to do is add this to lazy git with O. So that should prove useful to me. All right, so that's being adjusted. With the config, I don't really think I'm going to mess with anything else there. So we're going to style list description with relevant context. Great. And then we want to do like filtering. I feel like filtering would be really great right now. So we styled description. So now the name should be the icon. I don't think I want to evaluate the list more times than I need to. So the thought now is that we add icon, which we did. Icon. And this gets really interesting because if you want to provide an icon to the config, you can. You could say this specific config uses this icon, and that's always the case. So it serves to a more like rich environment, like the icons will be a lot more diversified, which is just kind of fun and whimsical, right? You know me, I use emojis. If anyone noticed my super minimal setup, at the top I wrote a tmux plugin that automatically condenses all of the tmux tabs into an icon. And most of mine are emojis. They don't have to be, but that's just the way that I like it. So we're going to add to that. So the title will become the icon. So let's just do it. Let's just do it. So we have our lister tmux, and we're going to icon. And I think we're just going to, I think I have an icon. We have these. So do we make them public? I think we do. But is icon, it's static, right? It shouldn't really matter if lister needs icon. I don't think it does. Is this already here? It's undefined. All right. So this is real lister. Lister doesn't have icon. I feel like lister has config. We don't need it, I don't think. I think I'm going to cheat for today. I know this feels gross. I feel like model, this like deserves its own static thing, right? So let's just to do it. Inject icon dependency or move icon string definitions to a static package. That's the idea. So that one's easy though. So that's tmux, Zoxide. I think we're just going to do that for now. All right, so that's, and then config. We're going to do something similar. Icon.config icon. All right. So now that should just work as long as we clean ourselves up here. And then we'll use a little lip gloss to color it. Yeah, sure. I probably should have done a proper rename there, but it's okay. It was not a lot of effort. Our icons are there. So now all we're going to do is in our TUI, when we generate the title, we're going to do something similar. This is the item.title. No. It's title and desk. Instead of that title, we need this to be made separate. So how do I make it separate? So I have title and description. We want to, what was it? I just did it. Format.print, something like that. All right, so we're going to do that here. Filter value is title. No. Filter value is that. Icon? Can I do that? Is that enough? Boo. Oh, icon has to be assigned. So we assign it down here. There we go. And then we have icons. Cute. Very cute. All right. So I don't love the spacing of that. Do we have to add another space? It's all right. I don't love it. I feel like it might serve us well enough to put it on the description. When do I plan on shipping it? I just need an MVP. So soon. This isn't a breaking change to anybody. So I'll just ship it and I'll just put it in the releases. If you want to be like, I need to know when it ships. I tell everybody to do this. I don't know if you use GitHub notifications. I highly recommend it. Just go up to this section here, hit watch, and then watch custom releases. And if you watch releases, then you'll know when new things come out. We have some new features coming. And then what was the other? We have some new features coming, and I just released some other features recently, so that's cool. We had a tempter problem. Thanks, Andres. We got this shipped. We also allow you to put in the startup command, you can put the path. So like if you need like to run tmuxinator with a specific path, you can do that, which is really cool. Let's see, that was that. And then before that, we allow you to configure sorting, which is really cool. That's a really fun one. You can now use regular expression in the blacklist. So you want to, make that a little bit less strict and just say all of these in this pattern need to be blacklisted. And then there's this new window configurator, which I haven't really talked about yet. And it wasn't my PR. Someone else implemented it. Shout out to Pickle Chips. I love Pickle Chips. That's how amazing of a name is that. And so shout out to them for getting that working. But yeah, that was cool. The way that this one works is you basically can assign a window, some definitions, and then you can assign the session a set of windows. Pretty cool. And so another Sesh feature. It is not its own session. Riza, you're right. This is its own. This is a feature in the Sesh binary. So you literally just hit Sesh UI, and it's going to be a whole thing. In fact, I might even say if you call Sesh, it just opens Sesh. That might be a good idea. So have Sesh open the UI automatically. We'll see what people think of that. No one's really using Sesh on its own other than the help flag, I guess. But let's see. We did show icons. Change. Yeah, we need to change their colors. Style description. I guess technically we have a sort of style description. Yeah. I'm curious what version of Sesh you're on, because a lot's happened. We've built a lot of features. No help topic. For UI, well, you're not going to be able to update Sesh because this is a branch. This isn't merged. So Sesh UI won't do anything for you today. But I will be shipping it. I just sort of need to decide, and maybe tonight is the decision, or maybe tomorrow is, hey, this is useful and totally works. But what I wanted to do for now is we're going to swap title and description. Yeah, for now. And we will make this one. Yeah. So, I mean, the icon's there. It's not perfect. It's not pretty. It's not what I want, but it's a good starting point. And I guess I do need both spaces. I don't know why it's being weird. It has to do with the way font rendering works in Wes term. And when nerd font icons are close to other icons, you end up with kind of a weird line height horizontal spacing problem. So this is a reasonable start. But look at all these pages. Look at this. We have so many items, 538 items. And it's instant. I mean, Sesh UI, let's see. It's immediate. It just loads. So that's really good news. Because they paginate the list, I think that's what serves so well and why it's immediate. I don't personally love the style of the list, so I'll probably be, yeah, you want it in the title. That's fair. What I was trying to figure out is, I can put it back. It does look a little bit weird there, doesn't it? So we put it here. The thing that threw me off is when you search for something, it matches, but the underline is in a weird place. See how it's like offset? So that means I just have to match. I think I just have to match these. Oh, let's try that again. And that would fix my problem. No, it doesn't. Look. What the hell is going on with this line? See the line? I think that is a root. The root cause is putting the icon in the title. It's just going to be a funky, hairy thing unless we design this separately in my own way, or it goes after. There's a lot of ways around it, or we design the style of this ourselves. But it's this whole ASCII character, not ASCII, this Unicode rendering stuff is not great. So I don't love this approach. I probably will change it. But that's why I was thinking of putting it on the other line, because the title can be obvious and the icon just plays as a helpful little unless people don't care. But I really like that this line matches perfectly. But maybe Carlos can help me. He's pretty good at figuring out this escape character stuff. Fun. Oh, and then if we do a quick, we were just talking about this tmux plugins. Tmux config. Let's add Sesh, and let's make it a lightning bolt. So now what should happen is if I do Sesh UI, it should turn into a lightning bolt. Hey, look at that. And then I don't love that I have to do this. So we're doing that. Auto select the input. So is there some sort of list option? Filter function, very cool, and you can rank. I love it. Unsorted filter. Cool. So there is a way that I'm going to try to work on this. Oh, so the model. So I can show filter true immediately, right? So this is the list model. So what should be able to be done is back here on the model, I should be able to say like m.filter. Is it filter true? Filter enabled. Why can't I? Oh, filter function. show filter. This is the part that throws me off. It's not the TUI model, it's the list model, but is it the actual list model? That's this one. It returns a model, and the new model is generated. Show title. I want to like assign it. Weird. So it's the component itself. That means that it's this thing down here, right? We call it. Where do we call it? This is on update. This is init. New model. Lister list. Makes the TUI model, which generates the list, which is this thing. Is this taking an argument? New default delegate. All right. Can I pass something in here? They don't take it. With sensible defaults. I see. So to have I'll have to mess with this. I have a feeling filtering enabled. Well, so filtering, this, to my knowledge, returns if it's true. It just tells you if it's enabled. But there's no filtering. Interesting. I think this is like a reasonable list with its own defaults or whatever. So I think people are just going to, for now, have to get around with this idea that you're going to open up Sesh and then you're going to filter, or we're going to we're going to probably abandon this default list. I think this is just a placeholder for getting started. But I think to have our own list, we're going to do something a lot more powerful. So this is bubbles. Do we have examples or anything? Right. So they're like, you can do whatever you want. Yep. So these are all the defaults, and this is the way that we were doing it. We borrowed from this example when we started. So this new list is just like, hey, just like give us all the decent, simple, pre-made kind of things. So I think there's the fancy list. What made it fancy? So this is just more interactive. Dude, I'm guessing you didn't have a lot of features. You probably needed to upgrade. Oh, set filtering enable. I like that. Yeah, that's probably it. You're very helpful. Thank you. I do not know how to say your name. Gangan? Is it Gangan? Either way, very helpful. Let's try it. Let's see if it works. And I'm going to be done soon. I've done a lot today, and I've got this working, which is good. I can literally, it's my replacement for now. All right, so we were in the TUI. We were down here, right? And you're thinking that we can set filtering enabled to true. So if we do that, and it doesn't start it automatically. So enabling it is different than making it active right now. That's the thing. And maybe they just don't really want to build their thing out that way. That's my guess, is they're like, hey, we're going to, build filtering as a secondary action, not as a primary action. Which is fine. We're probably going to make our own UI anyway. So what I'll do is, what will we have? We have lots of examples. Oh, this is bubble tea. Do I want lip gloss? I think I just want an input. So I'm going to create an input, and the input is going to be like what you see immediately. This like little carrot thing, or it'll be a box. I don't know, but it'll be something like FCF, right? Where it's like you're presented with an input and you're going to immediately be able to start typing with it to do what you want. Yeah, I did notice that, because right now I have it bound to, no, if you filter, tmux, and then you hit escape, it clears the search. Yeah. So that's just the way they designed it. This is all like a pre-made list TUI tool that Charm has made for us. Look at this guy coming in. So you're saying list filter. I don't have a filter state. List dot. I don't think this is it. But I'll play around with it. It's all right. I don't think we're going to go this direction anyway. Oh, nice. Set show filter. Set show filter true. So show filter makes more sense than like enabled. That doesn't seem to do it though. Set show filter. No, that's not it. You know what I mean? It's like, do you call it somewhere later? I appreciate your research, but I'm not worried about getting it to work right now. Oh well. Yeah, I mean, you're fine. Thanks for the help. I think I'm just using the latest version because I just started this project like a week ago. So yeah. All right, I want to see. Oh, my head's cut off, isn't it? This was fun. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It's kind of a long stream, a couple of hours, an hour and a half, and it's working. So I pushed the branch up. Looks like someone already pulled the branch and is playing around with it. So that's cool. I hope you guys have a good night or day or wherever you are. And as I usually say at the end of every stream, My website, joshmedeski.com, has all the stuff that I do and all the projects I've worked on and stuff. If you want to join the Discord server, you can click the little Discord button at the top. We talk about the terminal and tmux and NeoVim and Mac and all sorts of things. I've been talking about coffee a little bit. I'm a coffee guy, so just all the topics that I like. We have lots of conversations around those. I appreciate your support tonight, and I will see you all in the next stream. Bye.